And as the camera footage from her apartment begins to reappear, bit by bit, Rachel sees something that turns her stomach. A shadow. A face. Someone she trusted. Rachel Monroe was a 25-year-old nurse, soft-spoken, kind-hearted. The kind of person who stayed late to help her patients, even when her shift ended hours ago. Life had never been easy for her. She lost her mother as a teenager, barely survived an abusive relationship in her early 20s, and was now rebuilding, one shift at a time, in a quiet hospital tucked away in rural Kentucky. She didn't have a lot, but she had her dignity, her work, and hope. Then came Dr. Mason Hale. He was everything she wasn't. Powerful, respected, feared. A man with money, status, and the hospital board in his back pocket. He noticed her, took interest in her, told her she was brilliant, exceptional, said he saw potential no one else did. At first, she thought she was lucky, that someone like him could care about someone like her. He started small, gave her extra breaks, wrote glowing reviews, pulled strings to get her promoted. Then came the dinners, then came the gifts, then came the promises. But soon, the kindness turned to control. Mason began calling late at night, asking who she was with, what she wore to work, why she smiled at the young doctor in pediatrics. And when she didn't answer, he made her, with threats, with guilt, with quiet reminders that he could end her career with a single phone call. Rachel tried to pull away, but pulling away from a man like Mason, that's not escape, that's war. When she confronted him about changing a patient's medical records, something she found completely by accident, he told her to stay out of it, that he'd fix it. The patient died 2 days later. Rachel was horrified. She tried to report it. But the very next morning, she was suspended for emotional instability, for being unprofessional. The board didn't even question the report because Mason Hale signed it. And when Mason signs something in that hospital, it's treated like gospel. She was humiliated and heartbroken, but not helpless. What no one knew was that Rachel had been recording everything for months. Every late-night text, every phone call, every conversation in the supply closet where Mason whispered things no one should ever hear from a supervisor. She'd been gathering evidence, quietly, carefully, waiting for the right moment. And she found it. She handed a flash drive to a former patient, a woman named Kayla, who happened to be a journalist. Within days, Mason Hale's face was splashed across every news outlet in Kentucky. Star surgeon accused of patient negligence and sexual coercion. The internet exploded. Mason denied everything, called Rachel a mentally unstable ex, said she was obsessed, but the proof said otherwise. There were audio clips of Mason threatening her, video footage of him sneaking into the med room, changing charts, emails that clearly showed he used his influence to keep nurses silent. Rachel testified, voice shaking. But she didn't break. She told the courtroom how he ruined lives behind closed doors, how no one believed her until they saw it with their own eyes. Mason was arrested, removed from the hospital, charged with negligence, coercion, and obstruction of justice. And for the first time, Rachel felt like she could breathe. She turned down her job when they offered it back. Instead, she started speaking out. At women's shelters, at conferences, on social media, helping others see what she couldn't see until it was too late. She was healing, until she received the letter. No return address, just one line scrawled across the paper in familiar handwriting. You think it's over? I made sure you'll never sleep again. That night, someone broke into her apartment. Her dog was poisoned. Her laptop, gone. The footage from the hallway cameras, wiped clean. Rachel went straight to the police, but they told her something that made her blood run cold. The letter didn't come from Mason. In fact, he couldn't have sent it. He was in solitary confinement when it was mailed. No contact, no access, no way out. So who sent it? And worse, who was helping him? Rachel combed over the letter again, looking for anything she missed. That's when she noticed it. A number, tiny, scribbled in the corner like it didn't belong, but it did. An inmate ID number, but not Mason's. This one belonged to someone else entirely. Someone still on the inside. Someone with access. Someone who's been watching her for months, but we're not revealing who. Not yet. Because the story doesn't end here. It only gets darker. And Rachel, she's not done fighting. Because justice doesn't sleep. And on this channel, truth doesn't stay buried.